Yeah. hmm
But
Okay.
what are you guys watching?
Hi. My name is Lauren. So, I decided to make this YouTube channel to talk about history because history is actually like one of my passions. I'm a college student, but it's not my major to talk about history. I have a different major than that, but it's definitely one of my passions, and I really, really love learning about the history in the world. So I thought, you know what? Let's just make a YouTube channel and talk about history because why not? It's really interesting and fun. And okay, so today we are going to talk about my hero in history and my role model, and her name is Hatshepsut. She was an Egyptian pharaoh. She was born a long time ago, at some point in the BC time, because we're in AD now, but back then it was BC. So that was back when she was there. She was the pharaoh of Egypt, and so she wanted to stay pharaoh because after killing her dad, she was like, you know what, I'm gonna be pharaoh now, and just kind of took that role. And so with her son there, who was like going to be pharaoh and stuff, she was like, no, that's not cool. That's so not cool. And so she just went and like killed off a bunch of people and stuff and just didn't let her son take the throne because she was a determined person. She was like, I want this thing for myself, so I'm going to do what it takes to keep it. And I see that as just a really admirable trait, to really be goal focused and goal oriented and be like, I am going to get what I want. And I really, really admire that in her. Sorry, if it looks like I'm not looking at the camera lens, it's because I'm looking at myself in the reflection of this, because I'm using my phone. So also, along with that, then when her son eventually did take the throne, he was kind of a brat and was like, whatever, I'm just going to remove her from history and just carve her out of pots and stuff. But we all knew about her anyways, because there were like Hatshepsut like shaped holes now in all the pots and the walls. So we were just like, well, obviously Hatshepsut was there and was a pharaoh. So, he was so stupid. He was like, I'm just going to do my own thing and just do that and stuff. But she left a really remarkable impact on Egypt's socio-economical system, for one thing, and their politics in a lot of ways. But, history is my passion, not economy. So we're not going to get into that. But she impacted it a lot. She also like really impacted the fashion sense in Egypt because she I don't know, she was like so glamorous and cool and was like, I am so glamorous and cool, so I'm going to, when I'm buried, just like have it be really elaborate, which her son was kind of like, no, and just kind of burned her corpse. But like the other Egyptians were just like, wow, this new pharaoh's such a brat, we're just going to fulfill her wishes anyways. And that's why the pharaohs like used those like gold plated things and just like, when they were buried, because they were like, we want to be in the afterlife with Hatshepsut. And since she wasn't able to like go to the afterlife because of her bratty son, we'll make sure our next pharaohs can, to be able to hold on to that memory of her. And then apparently they buried the son like that too, which they mainly did that out of fear of the gods of Egypt. But it's okay, it's all okay. So Hatshepsut, one story that people don't know as much about was her daughter Mbindashu. Her daughter Mbindashu was also there and like was a little bit irritated because her mom had promised her, when I die someday, you will get to be pharaoh and the spirit of me will follow you around and help you run the country of Egypt. And like her son was just like, no, I'm so not going to do that, because Ramses was kind of a bratty child. So he was just like, I am not going to let you do that. So he ended up actually one day when he was the pharaoh, like after he had murdered his mom, he was just like, hey, let's go out for a picnic, to his sister, Mbindashu. And she was like, okay, because she really, really liked him and thought he was a really nice brother because, no one's perfect. So, even though she adored her mom, she like, she's not perfect, and she's wanted to believe in her brother, even though her mom was like, he's a brat, don't do that. But, and children, so rebellious. So she just went with him anyways on a picnic. And there he was just like, here, it would be a really fun game. It's called, look, let's build an altar and you can sit on it and practice sacrifices. And she was like, okay, because she thought it was fun and really wanted to impress her brother. And since he was now the pharaoh, she was like, if I don't do that, he'll probably kill me. But little did she know he was just going to kill her that way anyways. So she sat on there and he was like, look, we're going to do like the full ritual and stuff to kind of practice. And so he like put hay under her and then lit a match. And she was just like, wow, he's like really dedicated to this game. Like, you know, wow, he's really into this. And so then they set the altar on fire and she just burned at the stake because he had also bound her hands together because, you know, they wanted to really make it realistic. And nobody would have known about this except for like, there were a few Egyptians that were just like hiding in the bushes. And so then with them, they had some rocks with them and they just started carving the story into it. And they hid it underground and it wasn't found until they found it inside of King Tut's tomb. When the different historians, you know, were going around and like trying to find it, they found it like on one of the walls because like, you know, because of erosion and stuff that ended up being part of where King Tut was, you know, and like all the carvings of the story were like in the walls from where they had buried King Tut. And they found that. Otherwise, no one would have even known about Aminushu. And like, because he like killed her, you know, and Hatshepsut kind of had been like carved out of things, but you know, the sister wasn't. It wasn't actually carved out of them, but people kind of mistook her for being one of the servants because, you know, the mom just really wanted her children to dress practically. So nobody realized that her own daughter was like in the pictures. So she remains as part of history and in a lot of different pottery from Egypt. And so, yeah, they still have a few Egyptian ritual dances that are revolved around Hatshepsut and her. Since dance was a really important part of the Indian culture, they decided to take, you know, the different things of Egypt because, you know, they were like, our ancestors, we really, really want to honor our ancestors. So they were like, you know, and this just makes me smile because it's such a fun and cool tale. And like, I don't even know. They were just like, oh, we want to honor Hatshepsut. And so they did a dance. I'm not going to do it for you, at least not in this video. But, you know, if you want to see it sometime, let me know in the comments because, you know, I'm definitely willing to because I know a lot about these different topics. But yeah, no. So the Indian culture just like would dance that because they were like, we want, we think Hatshepsut was pretty cool. Maybe not the greatest role model in their opinion, which I disagree with, but you know, but they danced it anyways because they wanted to honor her. Yeah, and they also have one for Hatshepsut. They made that one more like later on when that was discovered, and before America was conquered. Still, this was all going on. Yeah, that is the history of Hatshepsut, or at least portions of it. Yeah, and you know, I hope to be like her someday. It maybe not get like brutally murdered by my son or anything like that, or have my daughter be like brutally murdered by my son who brutally murdered me. You know, I don't want those parts of the story. You know, I would rather just like, you know, yeah, just I would rather be like the whole. I want this kingdom, and I want to be the ruler, and I want what I want, and I want to have that, and so I will just knock out anything that gets in my way and prevent my children from getting it instead of me. And that's kind of how I want to live my life, you know? So you've, you know, both learned a bit about history and a bit about myself, you know, because I want to get to know you guys too. So let me know what you want to know about me. So yeah, thanks everyone. Just let me know in the comments what you want to talk about next. Want me to talk about next, not what you want to talk about next. That'd be funny. So yeah, thanks for watching everyone. I'll have new videos. I don't have a schedule yet, but you know, periodically I'll just post new ones, but thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this, and I love you guys. Bye. Oh, subscribe and stuff. I think I already said that, but I'll say it again. Subscribe. Okay, bye.